Well, it's kind of interesting. Each one is really relationship based. I think
Okay.
that's one of the strong suits that I've been able to build out professionally, whether it's practicing law or kind of working in the IT industry. Relationships matter.
Hey, this is Matt Helton with One Trust Home Loans, your reverse mortgage experts, and you found the Serving Senior podcast, where I highlight those businesses, those professionals, and nonprofits that help seniors not just get by, not just survive, but thrive in retirement. Today, we have one of those fantastic nonprofits here to kind of give you some background on how they serve seniors. We have my friend Anton Jackson. He is the Director of Mission Advancement with Rebuilding Together Nashville, and he's going to share with us how he and his group are serving seniors and helping them have a better retirement. How are you doing, Anton?
Oh, doing well, Matt. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for being here, my man. I've always enjoyed our conversations. You've always got a smile on your face, and it always gives me one as well. So thank you for brightening our day.
All right, well, thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to join you, brother, and looking forward to the conversation.
Yes, sir. Well, glad that you're here, sir. I want to highlight what you guys are doing, but also want to highlight you and maybe your background and how you got here today and what you've done in the past. So maybe could you share, I know we serve seniors now, but maybe share, where you're from, what you've done in the past, and maybe your journey to get
Absolutely. Hey, well, my name again is Anton Jackson. I'm with Rebuilding Together Nashville. We're a local 501c3 here in Nashville, Davidson County, and we specialize in home repairs, home renovation, housing preservation, primarily for those over the age of 60 years old, those living with disabilities, as well as veterans. We do have income requirements. We serve those who make roughly about 80% and below of the area median income as defined by HUD. And so we're currently working in two targeted communities. One is the greater Bordeaux area. So think the entire northwest kind of corridor of Davidson County, as well as in the Dickerson Pike corridor. Nice. And we describe that as kind of north of the Oracle campus, down Dickerson Pike all the way to Old Hickory Boulevard.
Okay.
We're also doing disaster recovery in Madison, as we're a part of the Nashville VOAD, which is the apparatus set up by the mayor's office and Metro Council to assist those who have been impacted by disaster. So we're currently still working in long-term disaster recovery in Madison as a result of the 2023 December tornadoes.
Wow.
And so we are scaling up our work there. But as far as just kind of my story, Matt, I'm a native Nashvilleian, been here my entire professional life.
Nice, man. I've been looking for you. You're the one native that's still here. Yeah. I finally found you.
I'm the unicorn, man. I'm the one of one. Yes, but I went to high school here at Hume Fogg, went to Tennessee State University for undergrad, and then I went to the University of Tennessee College of Law for law school.
Okay.
So I practiced for about 10 years or so as a prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney.
Gotcha.
Then I pivoted into information technology. So I was an IT consultant for a few years, and that's kind of how I came about working with Rebuilding Together Nashville. I served on the board of directors for approximately 5 years, the last 2 of those as the board president. And our CEO reached out to me, I'd say probably late December of last year, and recruited me in-house. So I am currently serving as our Director of Mission Advancement, kind of with my focus on fundraising, general development, community engagement, marketing, and public relations.
Nice, man. That's fantastic. Well, maybe compare and contrast. What's a day like as a either information systems prosecuting attorney or the Director of Mission Advancement at Rebuild Together Nashville?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Each one is really relationship based.
Okay.
I think that's one of the strong suits that I've been able to build out professionally, whether it's practicing law or kind of working in the IT industry. Relationships matter, and in particular, as it pertains to what I'm currently doing, building out relationships with not only our homeowners, but also our community partners, our strategic partners, our corporate partners, and then just local businesses that are looking to do good like yours. And so I am a big proponent of, hey, yeah, I can send an email, but I'd rather, make a phone call or grab a cup of coffee, kind of old school in that way.
Yeah.
So a lot of similarities in that, people matter. And I, want to ensure that, rebuilding together continues to be people focused. That's one of the things that really brought me into the organization. I was just incredibly impressed by our staff and our leadership and how they manage relationships with those that we serve in the community. And I want to kind of continue that in my new role.
Man, that's great. That is awesome. Good to hear. Thanks for sharing that. It's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Anton, just so it could maybe be more concrete for folks, could you share an example or two of somebody that you guys met? They weren't in the best situation, but with your program, you're able to come in and took them from where they were to maybe where they are today and how it's benefiting them in there.
Absolutely. One of the coolest things is that I've been fortunate as, board president and now working as an employee, it's just the relationships with the homeowners that we've been able to build out. So one that kind of comes to mind is a gentleman kind of lived in the Golden Valley area of the greater Bordeaux. He came to us because we have a two-pronged, so our primary programming is called our Safe and Healthy Home Improvement Program.
Okay.
And as part of that program is broken down into two initiatives, one called our Critical Repairs Initiative and one called our Rapid Repairs Initiative. The differentiation there is that anything that is considered $5,000 and up is considered critical repairs, and anything that is, $4,999 and below is going to be rapid repairs. And so this gentleman in particular reached out to us to address some rapid repairs issues. And I remember our staff going out, kind of doing our initial evaluation and realizing that this was probably better suited for critical repairs. This is an individual that we would not have otherwise gotten in front of. He's someone that has a background as a veteran, as well as he was quite kind of plugged in for a number of years working in the political sector, and just had fallen on some difficult times, certainly. He's on fixed income and needed a new roof. Kind of the beauty of where we are as an organization is we're looking to serve the holistic individual, the holistic homeowner. So if we come in for rapid repairs and you need critical repairs, or we come in for critical repairs and you need, food security or healthcare assistance, we're looking, if we can't provide the resources in-house, to connect you with someone who can. Mm-hmm. So this is an individual that, although we had done an initial assessment on the rapid repair side, we thought it best to kind of invest him into our critical repairs apparatus, and we successfully completed that project. Got a brand new roof for the gentleman. Was able to redo his kitchen, cabinetry, some really kind of finer points, much larger than that $5,000 threshold. But because we have the resources, we have the infrastructure, and we have the strategic partnerships, we're able to get in there relatively quickly, complete the repairs over a 4-month period, and ensure that this gentleman could live safely and healthy in his home, in the home that he had been in for, probably 30 plus years. And again, just didn't have the resources to kind of satisfy those critical repairs. So that's just one of many stories. We kind of, that's kind of our bread and butter, is being able to identify these individuals who need these critical repairs, and irrespective of what the cost may be, ensuring that they can live safely in the property, as well as age in place and not be forced under the pressures of displacement and development to sell and essentially move out of the communities in which they've built so much.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, our goal is to help seniors thrive in retirement, and that's a fantastic example of helping them, because if you think about it, right, if the roof's bad, next thing you know, you've got water damage. Water damage creates mold. Mold creates health issues, and it went from a simple leak in the roof all the way to health issues to next thing you know, they're selling to a developer for pennies on the dollar because they just need to get rid of it and they need to get out of it. So that's an awesome example, an awesome story of how you guys help. And maybe could you share with the audience, Anton, how it works, where the funding comes from? I think there's multiple avenues, and then also if someone's interested, how they could help. If you have events coming up or things like that.
I appreciate that, Matt. Our primary funding comes from what's called the Barnes Housing Trust Fund.
Okay.
That is a funding source created by the city of Nashville to kind of supplement or provide resources for affordable housing throughout the city. Barnes just celebrated its 10th anniversary. It's been kind of a boon for our organization to have kind of that dedicated governmental funding as a way to really spearhead a lot of our initiatives. It's really what has allowed us to kind of take flight. We've been around Nashville for about 30 years or so. We'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary next April. But in the last 6 to 8 years, we've really been able to kind of build and scale a lot of our work. And a lot of that is attributable to the Barnes Housing Fund. Our other funding sources are just as kind of, because we're a nonprofit, we're a 501c3, a lot of it is grant writing based. A lot of it is through our corporate partners, whether that's been Amazon, who's been a great supporter of ours, Pinnacle Financial Partners, the Regions Foundation and Regions Bank, Turner Foundation and Turner Construction. All of those are kind of some of our institutional partners that really, whether it's financial support, in-kind support, volunteer support, those are our kind of stalwart supporters, and we have any number of them kind of surrounding that as well. We have other financial. We really try to be intentional about the strategic partners that we do bring in. So we have a lot of industry-based partners, certainly through construction and architecture, land use, things of that sort. But we also are big proponents of breaking down the proverbial silos. So, we have strategic partnerships through the Vanderbilt University nursing school, the store, which is in Belmont, that is addressing food insecurity. We have a number of legal partners, law firms, and such that kind of assist us from that standpoint. So we really are, as I was saying earlier, more of a holistic nonprofit, in that certainly we have a focus and a guided mission, but part of that mission includes revitalizing the greater community. And the only way to do that is to take a kind of more wraparound, holistic approach. And so we definitely employ that too. So I say all that to say, if anyone wanted to get involved or support our organization, I would certainly direct them to our website, which is www.rtnashville.org, where you can get a ton of information about us. We actually have our seminal event coming up on October 20th. It'll be our 6th annual Top Golfing Together event. That's October 20th. That's a Sunday. And we always select a date when the Titans are not in town or on a bye. It has to not conflict with football season. So we'll be having it from 1 to 5 o'clock. And we're really excited. This is our 6th annual event. Last year was our largest event to date. We raised about $57,000, I believe. And so we went ahead as a team and set a $100,000 goal.
Oh, wow.
We're really bullish on it, but we could certainly if anyone wanted to sponsor a bay or sponsor the event, please reach out to me. We'd love to have you join us. And we're also selling individual tickets. So if you just want to stop by, maybe grab a drink, we'll have a silent auction going on as well. So there'll be plenty of opportunities on that day to help Rebuilding Together Nashville.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Well, I was going to ask you if you could share with the audience some of your superpowers. And before I ask that, one of my questions is one of your superpowers golf?
Absolutely not, sir.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. If you were going to be instructing and show us how it's done there at Topgolf.
No, sir. I probably will not be playing. I'll be walking around trying to ensure that everyone else is having a great time.
I bet you're really good at that. That's fantastic. Well, you shared earlier one of your strengths was relationship building, going deep with people. Maybe could you share with us what some of your other superpowers are that allows you to excel in the role that you're in?
I'd say one of my so-called superpowers would be just humility. I really enjoy learning and growing in kind of new sectors or new industries. You can probably tell by my myriad background of different occupations that seemingly none of them match up. So I love the fact that, life is about learning. I love to learn. I feel like I'm a life learner, but I bring a bit of humility to each opportunity because I think that's kind of the best way to learn is to realize that you don't know everything, that there are experts in given fields that you can reach out to, or even just people that may have a perspective that's different from yours. So I would like to think that I bring a bit of humility to the role, while also, again, being very bullish on my own acumen and strategic thinking. So I appreciate the opportunity to learn, and also, I feel like there are most things I can accomplish, if I'm able to kind of put in the appropriate work and thought processes. If there's an answer to be found, I believe that I can find it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, thank you for sharing all that background. Anton, maybe also could you share when you talk to a homeowner, maybe it's something that you guys either can help them with or not help them with, but you guys being a holistic nonprofit, what are some other resources that you recommend for folks? That way, if they're in that, maybe a financial situation, or maybe they're just a senior trying to improve their retirement, some things you recommend that they look into?
Well, that's a great question, because one thing that I have been incredibly thankful for is kind of learning what else exists as far as social services that may be outside of our work scope. Mm-hmm. So I would always refer, particularly because of the background of this podcast and kind of the reason that we're having this conversation, is Age Well Services. Okay. Grace Smith over there, she's their CEO. She's an exceptional leader, and they do a fantastic job of collecting a number of different resources kind of in a directory manner for older adults. So those are, people over 55, and it really does address every aspect of their lives. So whether it's home repairs, whether it's food insecurity, whether it's, just figuring out how to get equity out of their home, whatever the case may be, there's a ton of great resources there. So I always direct, people to kind of start with Age Well. Mm-hmm. And then again, Metro Nashville, Davidson County really does have a ton of resources, whether it's through the Metro Trustee's Office that has the tax freeze program for those who fit the income criteria as well as the age criteria, whether it's the mayor's office. I know they have a Office of Neighborhoods, and the person over that office is a friend of mine named Brittany Irby. She has a particular large heart and focus on the older community. There are just a really ton of resources. People just, I think the difficulty is knowing kind of where to direct people. So I always say, hey, if we can't help you, we will find someone that can. Nice. And I'm a big proponent. The staff is excellent with this, in that we follow up as well. So if we make a referral to a strategic partner, we will certainly follow up with them and follow up with you to ensure that, hey, if they could serve you, you got a call back. If they couldn't serve you, they directed you to someone that could.
Nice.
And I think by taking that as our primary strategy, not only are we able to serve as many people as we possibly can, but we also build the trust within the community that people call us as a resource. And that's something that we find particularly valuable. Again, there's a lot of distrust as the city grows. Everyone is not looking to help people. Some people are looking to take advantage. And so we really do carry our reputation as a badge of honor. It's something that we are very protective of because we want to ensure that if someone reaches out to Rebuilding Together Nashville, they know that their interests will be served.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. When I first heard about you guys, that's one of the things that really got me excited when our friend Mike connected us. Was we could tell that you guys are people first, business second, and all about serving the individual. And that was fantastic to hear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great to hear. And I think that's where I'm glad that we met too, because we can add to that. Because like as your example earlier, if someone can't afford to fix their roof, they're having challenges, right? That might be just the tip of the iceberg financially that they've got going on. That means they weren't probably able to pay their insurance. So that's why, even though they had damage, the insurance didn't cover the roof or things like that. And that's where we come in. A lot of these folks have been in their homes for 10, 15, 20, 30 years and they've had such a ride in equity. But Anton, what we found on our end is that if they don't know how to properly use some of the equity, really all that means is negative, meaning that, and you're like, well, how could more equity be a negative? Well, if you don't know how to use it, all it really means is you pay more taxes.
Yes.
If you know to call your insurance company, that means it's more expensive to rebuild, thus means your premium should be higher on your insurance. So really all it does is cost these seniors money unless they figure out how to effectively and efficiently harness some of that equity to supplement what they're already doing. So that's where we come in. We analyze their situation. Sometimes a HELOC makes sense. Sometimes a regular loan makes sense. Most of these people, though, unfortunately, either don't qualify for a HELOC because rates are so high. They don't qualify for a regular loan. And even if they did, the payment is going to be so high, it's counteractive to them getting the money. So that's where we come in. Our FHA HECM, the new and improved reverse mortgage, for a lot of these folks will make the most sense because they can get some money. They still leave a big chunk of equity in the house, but they're not required to make a payment. They can. They just don't have to make a payment. But the big changes that most people don't understand is it's just a regular mortgage, meaning that they own the house. They can sell the house whenever they want to. And when something happens to them, they can pass the home on to the next generation and they can sell the house and capitalize on the equity. So it's basically just a regular loan that allows them flexibility to not have to be as difficult to qualify, but also not to have to make a huge monthly payment. So it's a cool tool to kind of help strategize with some, maybe fit into what you guys are already doing. Some people use it to pay property taxes. Some people use it to supplement and pay the insurance. Some people use it to pay off their cars and credit cards where they don't have any other bills. So good add-on to what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. And, as you kind of walk through that financial literacy piece into estate planning, that's something that we have really kind of put some brain power around as an organization. Certainly internally, a staff and I are constantly throwing around ideas around how to kind of build out that apparatus, but certainly at the board level as well, because a lot of the people that we serve in kind of that Dickerson Pike corridor in kind of the greater Bordeaux area really are under threat of, gentrification, development, displacement as we see Nashville growing. And growing exponentially, really. Kind of, if you look at the last 10 to 12 years, there is a lot of kind of creep into those newer neighborhoods. Sure. And so what we really want to do is impart upon our homeowners and their families kind of the importance of that financial literacy piece, as well as the estate planning piece. Because as we know, the primary way to generate wealth in this country has been through home ownership.
Right.
And so if we can continue to get the information out to our homeowners, let them know kind of what the tenor of the real estate industry is in town, and that if someone is sending you a letter, kind of silent scene for your property, asking or telling you, we'll give you $250,000 cash, then your property is worth probably substantially more than that. And although those numbers, $250,000 is a lot of money, I don't kind of begrudge people who go through that analysis, but the reality is it's not a lot of money when you then have to find a new place to live. And once you realize that, you may have had 30, 35 years plus in this property, you've built out your community, your faith relationships are going to be largely in your community. Your healthcare provider is largely going to be in your community. When you're then forced to now move further outside of Davidson County, a lot of those things become tenuous. And so we're really trying to get in front of as many homeowners as possible and just kind of evangelize to them to some degree, in that, hey, we don't begrudge anyone for selling the property. We just want people to make informed decisions when they do sell.
Yeah.
If we can empower people to continue to make informed decisions that are best for them as well as their family, then we've certainly won.
Yeah.
By first providing, the opportunity for them to age in place comfortably without the threat of being displaced, and then to kind of harness some of that wealth to kind of disperse generationally. I think we really kind of take a multi-pronged effort of kind of empowering these individuals.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, very, very well said. Very well said, Mr. Anton. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have asked you?
No, Matt, I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to kind of chat with you and kind of chat with your audience. Again, I'll just say that we're Rebuilding Together Nashville. Our mission is to rebuild, I apologize. Our mission is to repair homes, revitalize communities, and rebuild lives. And the way that we do that is through kind of individual, holistic evaluation. When we come into a home, there's a 25-point checklist that we're coming in with to identify, how we could help each homeowner. And then we use contract labor. So, although we do have kind of a volunteer apparatus, the lion's share of our work is done by contractors. We believe wholeheartedly that we want to employ the same professionalism into our work that we want into our properties and our homes. And so we secure that for our homeowners. And we also have engaged with strategic community partners to ensure that whether it's healthcare you're seeking, whether it's kind of food security, whether it's mental health, whatever the case may be, if it's not something that we do internally, we'll connect you with someone that can provide assistance. Because we truly believe in the holistic well-being of those we serve. And as the more individuals that we can come in contact with, the more we believe that we can help. And so we're always looking, even if you feel as though you may not, or one may not align with kind of the income requirements, I would certainly suggest go ahead and put in an application, see if we can help you, particularly if you live in those two areas of the city. And if you live outside of those areas, we have partnerships with, Westminster, which is a home repair nonprofit that we're friendly with. We can direct you to some resources in town to get the assistance that you need.
Perfect. Well, very well said. So one more time before we run, could you share again how people would get in contact with you or contact with the mission?
Absolutely. Our website is www.rtnashville.org. And you can go to our website. We have tons of information up. But if anyone wanted to just send me an email directly, I'd love that as well. My email is anton@rtnashville.org. And you can shoot me an email. I will certainly get back with you within 48 hours. And if there's a way that we can assist you, we'd certainly like to do so.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again for being here, and thanks again for all you guys do.
I appreciate you, Matt. Thank you for all that you and your company, all that you all do as well. And if we can be of assistance to you all, let us know.
That's perfect. Look forward to it. And thank you for watching the Serving Senior podcast, where we highlight those businesses, individuals, and nonprofits that help seniors not just get by, not just survive, but thrive in retirement. Thanks again. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of Retirement Mortgage Solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniourspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow, maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like, our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want. As long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position, there could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.